Hello everyone and welcome to Walking with Dragons. In this video I'm going to be stripping out and completely redoing my vivarium for my Chinese water dragon Yoda. Now Yoda has been living in his current setup for the last 2 years, however because he is now a fully grown adult Chinese water dragon he does struggle to move around on some of the branches that I've placed in the vivarium, so what we're going to be doing is necessarily removing those branches and placing them with some larger ones. This will mean it's easier for him to move around the enclosure. I started off by removing Yoda from the enclosure and securing him in a container, which I covered with a towel to keep him calm, whilst I worked on the enclosure. Following this, I then removed the doors from the enclosure so that I could have easier access. I then went about removing everything from the enclosure and completely stripped it down. Once everything was out, I then screwed 3 screws to the back of the vivarium. This was so that I could hang a large cork bark log on the back of the walls for Yoda to bask on. Once I placed the log on the back of the vivarium, I then screwed it in place. This was to make sure it was secure. I then went about fixing 2 plant pots to the vivarium as well, which I'll add plants to later on. After this I then added all of the wooden branches to the vivarium, fixing them all in place. This was to make sure that they were all secure and that none of them broke or moved whilst Yoda moves around the enclosure. I also made sure whilst placing them in the enclosure that I placed them all at different heights. This was obviously to provide Yoda with plenty of areas to move around with. Once I had fixed all the pieces of wood in place and was happy with the way they looked, I then began planting the vivarium. I started by placing a large peace lily in the left hand side bottom corner, which provided great cover should Yoda want to hide away. I also added pothos to the plant pot on the right hand side as well. I then added several other plants to the plants tray on the left hand side of the vivarium and finished it up by adding some rocks around the plants as well. This is so Yoda can't dig them out. Once everything was in place I then hoovered out the vivarium, removing any dust, debris or unwanted waste. This was so that I could fill up the pool at the bottom of the vivarium. Once this was done, I then placed the doors back on the vivarium and then proceeded to give the vivarium a good spray. This was to help build up humidity and also to help water the plants as well. Now I must apologise to you all, as when I was placing Yoda back into his enclosure, like an absolute muppet, I got my massive fat head in the way, so you can't actually see him go back into his enclosure. However, once he did enter the vivarium, he did hide behind the peace lily for a few hours, and then once he was confident and comfortable, he came out. Over the following days, he then did obviously become more confident and started exploring the vivarium, and then he started feeding again as well. Now it has actually been a week since I did do this for Yoda's vivarium, and I'm really happy with how it's turned out. Yoda seems to be very happy, he seems to be very confident, and he is feeding really well as well. The vivarium itself looks fantastic and is a real eye-catcher when you walk into the reptile room, which I'm really happy about as well. And I can't wait to see how the plants grow over the next couple of months. Hopefully they'll look absolutely awesome. Thanks for watching this video guys, I do really appreciate it, and I hope that you guys enjoy the vivarium as much as I do, and I hope this has inspired some of you as well to help provide the best environment possible for the animals that you keep at home, whether that being fish, reptiles, birds, small mammals, anything along those lines. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and have a great day.